Hello and welcome to the Hotkeys podcast. This is the show or podcast or listening thing where we talk about everything pop culture and random in the world. I'm your host, Mick, and today I'm joined by
Will Dobratz.
And Mick.
And Will Dobratz.
And Mick.
And that's it. 3 Micks and 2 Wills.
Yep. It's a perfect amount of people. Yeah, this is the second week in a row where it's just one-on-one.
Yeah.
What do you think about that? I think it shows that I
think
am
there's a
the
lack of
most
commitment.
dedicated member of the podcast.
I think
'cause
like
I'm always here.
My excuse last week was good. I had my wisdom teeth out.
Oh, boo-hoo.
Want me to show up talking like
That would have been like classic.
What do you mean classic? That's not how I
Instant
typically
classic.
talk about.
Do
I don't sound like that on the podcast, do I? I don't go
you listen to the podcast?
absolutely.
I guess you don't know then, do you?
I know how myself sounds when recording it. I just don't have an opportunity to listen to almost any podcast. My work doesn't really allow it. During my driving doesn't really allow it.
Why? Driving's like a perfect time for it.
Because most of my drives to and from work are like 20 minutes.
And you stick your head out the window like a dog the whole time.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's no. I just enjoy music more. I don't like I get more out of music than I do out of listening to a podcast for some
What
reason.
type of music you've been listening to?
I listen to a lot of music. I listen to anywhere from like classic hits, like 60s, 70s, 80s, like kind of that era, like anything popular there, to like listen to a lot of alternative music, a lot of pop as well. So literally anything that kind of has, it could be anywhere from rock to pop to alternative, like that kind of like,
okay, so
that kind of like section, of music.
Everything that's not country and rap.
Yeah. I mean, I do listen to some rap, but country is a hard pass for me.
Yeah. I like some older country, but man, some of the new stuff is just terrible.
Yeah.
It's like all poppy and
Stupid. Poppy country.
Poppy country.
You're not a fan. You like hard country.
I like hardcore country.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, what's an example of hard country?
I don't know what hardcore.
So, how can you say you like it then?
No, I like older, like Johnny Cash. I like his stuff.
Okay, that's fair.
Some like early 2000s country is good.
Okay, that's fair.
But the last 6-7 years of just 10 years have just been terrible.
Yeah, that's fair.
Terrible stuff. Yeah, I said it.
Yep.
I'm not ashamed.
You heard it here first, folks. Terrible country music.
I don't think this is the first time people have said they hate country.
It could be. We're trendsetters, right, Michael?
It could be.
We're
I take it
trendsetters.
back. Yes.
What's a trend that you think we could start?
Rap is also terrible.
Legitimately, what's a trend that we think we could start?
The Mick is the most
interesting man on the planet.
Yeah,
Wow.
definitely.
You should be an alcohol advert, like the face of an alcohol advert.
Who says I'm not?
That's a good. That's a good comeback.
Good.
Actually, it kind of broke me for a second. I was
It's that good.
Michael could be advocating for some kind of gin or something. I don't know.
I do like gin.
Yeah,
I'm not a big alcohol person, but gin is good.
yeah. I don't know. I've never tried gin. The only alcohol I've really tried are whiskey, old fashioned. That kind of is whiskey in an old fashioned. Is that whiskey?
I think so.
I think so. Too.
I think an old fashioned is a mixture of
whiskey and something
things.
else.
Yeah.
But anyway, I've had hard alcohol. That's okay.
Yeah.
I'm a sucker for hard ciders. Absolute sucker. Especially
You're too much of a sucker.
like a huckleberry. Like
my
that flavor
gosh,
is just my weakness.
That's like an understatement.
What do you mean weakness? Or what do you mean understatement?
It's still affecting you. Let's see. What's in an old fashioned? Yeah, you got some bitters, some bourbon, whiskey, simple syrups, water. Yeah, simple stuff.
Just the usual.
It's the usual.
The spices of life.
old-fashioned stuff.
The spices of life.
No need to go too fancy.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Some sad news. Robbie Coltrane passed away.
Rip Haggard.
Yeah.
It's kind of sad when a childhood I watched those movies when I was a kid, and even though I watched a couple of the movies, read the whole series, and then watched the remaining movies as they came out when I grew up. Mm-hmm. So like my first experience with Hagrid is Robbie Coltrane.
Yeah.
And so it's always really sad when that much of like an iconic character, an actor for that iconic character passes away, because Hagrid was the person that was always there for Harry, throughout the entire series.
Yeah, I mean, he's really like the introduction to the Wizarding world, like for Harry. Mm-hmm. And yeah, he definitely is the one that's like he's a person that Harry could always count on.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's sad. He was a good actor, and I didn't really see him in much other things. He was in some James Bond movies.
Yeah, he was in GoldenEye, I'm pretty sure, and a couple more. He played a recurring character, I think.
Yeah, yeah, he was. I mean, just so lovable as Hagrid. He just really embodied that character.
Yeah,
and I wouldn't be surprised if there was kind of some back and forth inspiration from Robbie Coltrane to J.K. Rowling, because she like had in her mind like that's who she wanted to play Hagrid.
Really?
Yeah. So he was the one that was like handpicked by her. So I wonder if like after watching him in the movies, she kind of also morphed the character more to like a Robbie Coltrane,
yeah,
personality. But yeah, it's sad. I mean, like you were saying, that's like so like this huge generation grew up with those movies and the books, and to see those actors, leave us it's kind of sad.
It reminds me of when like Alan Rickman died.
Alan Rickman, yeah. Christopher Lee for like Lord of the Rings stuff. A little bit different of a character, but same idea.
Well, Christopher Lee with his other roles too. Like Christopher Lee has so many iconic roles.
Yeah, Star Wars, Count Dooku. I mean, he was in over like 200 movies.
Willy Wonka's dad in Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
Is that who you play? Oh my gosh. I feel like we talk about this movie too much.
Candy is a waste of time.
Oh man. But yeah, R.I.P.
R.I.P. I think, yeah. I mean, it's hard because it happens, right?
Yeah.
It's just something, I don't know.
It happens, but it's one of those things where it's like maybe it's the kid in me that's naive to it, but you just think like, oh, that'll, these actors will be around forever.
Yeah.
Like I always think about like Harrison Ford.
Yeah.
I think he's around, if not older than Robbie Coltrane was.
Yeah. He's 82 or something like that.
No, he's not. He's not that old.
Are you sure?
I'm pretty sure. If he is, I mean, that's older than I thought. I thought he was in his mid-70s.
He's 80 years old.
Holy cow.
He was born in 1942.
Holy cow.
So, and he's acting in an Indiana Jones movie that's coming out next year.
That's crazy.
That's nuts to me. I'm just like, dude, you need to retire.
I don't know how it's going to come across. I mean, I think it was at D23. He was talking about the movie and he was getting like really choked up about it because I think like unlike Star Wars and Han Solo, like he really, really loves the character of Indiana Jones.
I think it means a lot to him.
I think it means a lot to
him. For Han Solo, he just wanted it out, right? For a long time.
I think some of that is like, I think some of it's a little bit false. Like some fans just kind of exaggerating it. But I think some of it is still there where he didn't really care about Han Solo as much. But yeah, it's just one of those things that's going to happen eventually. It's kind of sad.
On that note,
I got some drinks for us today at Starbucks.
Oh, yeah. I got a strawberry acai lemonade.
Yeah. We're not sponsored by Starbucks, but
fresh as can be, trademark.
I would love to take a giant sip out of my drink too, but
this is so sad.
I think they got my order wrong. So what I had ordered was a raspberry Italian soda, and what they gave me looks like milk with ice in it, and it even says on the like receipt thing here, it just says sparkling water.
No way.
Yeah, I think they put in the sparkling water, the cream, and then forgot to put the flavor in. So
I'll
try to.
That sounds awful.
Yeah, that's pretty gross. Yeah, so that was.
Do you want me to pour some of my lemonade into the
I think
drink
that
and
would
see if
make
it'll
it worse.
Really? You think so? It's strawberry though.
Yeah, I ordered raspberry. Okay.
I know you ordered raspberry, but doesn't mean you can't have a strawberry Italian soda. Strawberry lemonade Italian soda.
That's too much.
Strawberry acai lemonade.
Okay.
No, it's not acai though. I pronounce it wrong.
Okay.
No, I can't. I don't know how to. Everybody's gonna make fun of me for it, but it's ACAI. It's
Ace.
but the I is like apostrophed, I think, or the C is. It's one of those two.
Yeah.
Acai. I don't know. It's what?
What do you mean apostrophe?
It's like I don't know. It's like it's funny, in like foreign languages when they have the A's and the I's are a little different.
Does it have like a squiggly above it?
Yeah, I think one of them does. Hold on. I need to Google.
I don't even know what word you're talking about. I've never heard of a kai or a K.
Oh no. Okay, I'm gonna play this for everybody.
Acai.
Acai.
Acai. It's strawberry acai. Every time I order this, I say acai.
So it's a soft C.
It's a soft C, yeah. The C has a little like loop below it.
Acai?
Acai.
Like acai or
Acai.
Acai. Acai.
AA-SAA-EE. That's the phonetics.
Acai.
Acai. Sounds like a Star Wars name.
Acai Solo.
Yeah. Acai. Sounds like
Speaking of Star Wars, you know what movie sucks?
The Last Jedi. Dave isn't here. Dave has chosen to be in, where is he? New Mexico or whatever it is.
I don't know where Dave is.
Dave's off running around the United States. He's not present with us today.
Is he by himself or did Brianna go with him?
I think his wife is with him.
Okay.
So
I never know.
Yeah.
They never tell me.
Who knows?
Do they tell you stuff?
Oh yeah, Dave tells me everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. He tells me his dreams, his nightmares, his loves, his passions, his hatreds.
Oh, yeah. It's probably a lot.
Yeah.
A lot of hatreds.
Well, no, I don't know. It's hard to say.
Prove me wrong, Dave. Anyway, Star Wars, Andor.
Oh, I thought we were talking about The Last Jedi.
No, everybody knows we hate that movie. It's a terrible movie. It's the worst movie on the planet.
Anyway, Andor
is the opposite.
Yeah, the best Star Wars material since Empire Strikes Back.
So that's your favorite movie, huh?
I think it's tied with New Hope.
Ooh.
The duo. Like, you gotta watch, like, the back-to-back, like...
I have Return of the Jedi at top.
Yeah, I don't understand that.
Why not?
Half that movie's kind of not, like... Half the movie is really moderate.
What half?
The part with... So Jabba's palace kind of sucks.
What?
Yeah.
What sucks about Jabba's palace?
I'm just waiting for it to get over.
What? Why?
Because I just... What? It's not interesting.
Why isn't it interesting?
Because, like, Han Solo's being freed, and he's blind, and he's not actually Han Solo, right?
What does that mean?
It means he doesn't have his usual attitude. He doesn't have his, like, cool, like, Han Solo, like...
He's, like, blind and disoriented. He's been,
That's
like,
my point.
Frozen in carbonate for, like...
That's my point. It's not as entertaining. And then you have Leia, who just gets captured and enslaved.
Who's like a BA who just, like, shows up and he's like... I'm going to kill all of you.
Yeah, then he gets thrown into a pit, and then he has to...
He battles a Rancor.
Battle a Rancor with a stick.
It's a bone.
It's a bone. Okay, all right. He battles a Rancor with a bone.
And he wins.
He
doesn't even need a lightsaber.
Yeah, and then he's like, "You're making a mistake, Jabba." And Jabba's like, "Oh, blah, blah, blah." And then he jumps off, and he catches his lightsaber.
That's awesome. It's like a swashbuckling, like, old, like, callback to pirate movies.
Yeah, but it's like it's not close to Star Wars.
That's what Star Wars is. It's like a swashbuckling.
It's not a Star Wars is not swashbuckling at all.
Oh my gosh, it's totally.
No, it's not.
There's swash and buckles all over that movie series.
There is no swash and there's no buckles in their first two movies.
There are a lot of buckles, actually, if you look at Luke's belt.
There are buckles, but there's not swashbuckling.
What is swashbuckling?
I don't know. You were the one that said it. I was just disagreeing with you.
So you don't know what it is either? None of us know what it is, but we're arguing about it.
I'm saying how you're defining swashbuckling is that first section of Return of the Jedi.
Yeah.
That's first section. Yes, it's piratey, but it's not close to what any other Star Wars is.
There's some piratey stuff in New Hope.
Like what?
They swing across the thing in the Death Star.
That's more like, that's not piratey.
They swing on the thing in episode 6.
Yeah, and they also swing on a thing in Pirates of the Caribbean.
There you go. You just destroyed your own argument.
But they also swing on a thing in Indiana Jones.
Yeah, that's
and they swing on a thing in The Matrix. And they swing on a thing.
Anything swinging is swashbuckling.
No. So when like Trinity jumps out of the helicopter and swings in and grabs what's his name? What is it? Why am I drawing a blank?
I don't know.
Lawrence Fishburne's character.
Morpheus.
Morpheus. Yeah, that's right. Of course. I want to say Mobius. I don't know why.
I don't know why either.
It's Morbin time. But Lawrence Fishburne's character. Morpheus. Thank you. When she's swinging and grabbing Morpheus, like that's
When did she
piratey.
do that?
Doesn't she like jump out and swing and grab him or something? Or am I remembering wrong?
You're remembering wrong.
No, he runs out, right? And he has to jump off. Like Morpheus has to jump out of the building, and she like swings and grabs him.
No,
right?
Neo jumps out and they meet in the air.
Right,
And he holds
yeah.
on to him.
So is
and then
that piratey?
What?
Go ahead.
Spider-Man's piratey.
And then Trinity's on the like
No,
the Gatling
Neo's
gun.
on the Gatling gun.
Well, where is Trinity?
She's flying the helicopter.
Oh, that's right.
She's
Yeah.
like, hey, I need a pilot's license.
Tank. I need
for-
a pilot program.
Yeah.
Yeah. Haven't seen that movie in forever.
Can you fly that thing? Not yet. And then what you said.
Yeah, Rip Dozer.
Dozer. He kind of wasn't that great of a character.
Yeah, he wasn't.
All he did was make the like goop stuff
don't-
that they ate.
Yeah, I don't think any of the characters that died in the original Matrix were that great of characters.
Cypher was
right?
good.
Cypher was good, but he's like I'm counting like the heroes, like the mouse dude.
Mouse was awesome.
Mouse is all right. Like he's the best
He made
one.
the red dress program.
Yeah, you like that program? A be the good.
You know, I designed that program. He's such a creep.
Yeah, he is. Then the Russian girl, right? She's
Switch.
Russian. Switch.
Yeah.
There's
APOC.
APOC.
He seemed cool. Like,
I mean, he was cool.
we
but,
didn't
like
get to know him a lot, but he seemed cool.
the silent but cool type is a very
That
very
fits well in the
strong-
Matrix.
Fits well in the Matrix. Yeah.
universe. I feel like everybody is silent and strong.
But like, I feel like the villains of that movie are really special.
Well, you got Cypher.
Cypher and Mr. Anderson, not Mr.
What is wrong with
Agent
you?
Smith. I
You
don't know
don't
what's
know
wrong with
any
me today. Sorry, Agent Smith. Sorry, Mr. Anderson. He just says it all the time, so that's why I thought, dude, I am tripping today. I don't know why.
You be tripping.
All the time.
But yeah, no, Agent Smith is a really good villain.
Agent Smith. Yep.
Yes.
But anyway, would you say that's swashbuckling when they meet each other in the air and they're swinging on a rope?
No,
So
because they're not swinging from one place to another. They're just dangling on a string.
okay, so Spider-Man. You
Yeah.
brought up Spider-Man earlier. Spider-Man swashbuckling?
Oh yeah, heck.
No, your argument's falling to pieces, Michael.
You're the one that agreed with me. You were like, "Oh, that's piratey."
No.
Like in Pirates
I
of the
never said it.
Caribbean.
I said they do it in Pirates of the Caribbean.
And guess what type of movie Pirates of the Caribbean is?
Yeah, but I'm saying
Swashbuckling.
I did that on purpose to see. Oh, it's in almost every movie, and it's non-discriminatory.
There could be swashing and buckling in every movie.
This is a stupid conversation. Let's move on.
Anyway, Andor.
Yes, Andor.
Very good.
Yes,
Very good show.
Best Star Wars show easily
Since
the beginning of time. It's better than Mandalorian, I think.
I mean, it's really good. I think it's too early to tell, like, if it's that good. Sorry, I saw.
You saw a squirrel.
No, I saw a marmot
Oh.
in Landon's backyard,
Oh yeah.
dancing on his wood pile back there.
Are you sure that isn't Landon?
Could be Landon. Marmot Landon. Hide your kids. Lock your windows. Marmot Landon's on the prowl.
Wasn't he part of a fencing like club
Marmot
that was the
fencing?
fighting marmots?
I think so.
Yeah, that's funny.
Did that marmot have a sword with it?
Yeah, it also had fencing gear on. You know.
Yeah, totally Landon.
Yeah. If you were turned into an animal, what would you be turned into? I feel like Landon would turn into a marmot.
Landon is kind of marmoty.
Yeah.
Like if you just look at him,
Yeah.
what would you be?
I don't know. I feel like it'd be something like a wolf.
Really?
No, not at all.
You don't strike me as a wolf.
I'd be like I don't know.
I would think like giraffe or something.
I do have a long neck. If that's what you're implying.
No,
Wow. So rude.
I'd probably be like a man. What animal sleeps a lot? Is just tired all the time.
Panda bear?
Panda bear.
Yeah, you'd be a panda bear.
I'd be a panda,
Yeah.
and I love eating bamboo.
Yep. What about Dave?
What's like conniving? He'd be like a serpent or something,
I could see a snake. I could. In a non-negative context.
or a negative context. No, I'm kidding.
I'm trying to be nice, and you're like, yeah, Dave's a snake. Landon's a marmot. I'm like, oh, dude, come on. I think a snake is like fitting for Dave, though. Like very like methodical.
Yeah.
Dave is a very methodical, and I feel like snakes are methodical.
No. And they're evil.
What about former podcast member Colby?
Hyena.
It just makes me think of the hyenas in the Lion
I know,
King.
bug-eyed.
What are their names? There's Ed, right? And then there's Schnitzy or so whatever.
I don't know,
Oh
something
gosh,
like that.
there's yeah, I would agree with that. Oh gosh,
What about Jesse? A sloth?
yeah, sloth, absolutely.
Is this too mean? What we're doing?
I mean, I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
I'm a
Let's continue.
giraffe.
Let's
like,
continue. Giraffes are cool.
yeah, giraffes are cool. But
All
they
these
have,
animals are
They
cool.
have long necks. Yeah, sloths are cool.
Sloths
I
are
wish I
cool.
could be super slow.
Oh, gosh. All right, what about Ben?
I don't know.
Tasmanian devil.
You think so? I don't know the personality of a Tasmanian devil, so I can't really say either way.
Just base it off the Looney Tunes.
He spins a lot.
Yep.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
Okay.
It looks like a tornado. That's what I'm saying.
Got it.
Yeah.
Oh gosh. Yeah. Animals are cool. I like animals.
Yeah. So Andor. Andor is very good.
How do we
I don't
always
know.
get off
We're-
topic so much?
Trying to talk about Andor for so long.
I know. It's been like 30 minutes of trying to get back to Andor.
Yeah. I do agree. I think it is very good. Visually, it just looks amazing. I think it looks like as good, if not better, than like some of the stuff we saw with Rogue One. Because I think Rogue One is probably the best looking Star Wars, just in terms of visual and
Yeah.
cinematography.
Yeah, I would say so too. I'd actually agree with that. Yeah. So there's an moment in episode 6 of Andor where when they're going through the comet,
Oh, the eye
or whatever it is called. Yeah. Absolutely beautiful.
Yeah.
Like visuals and cinematography, how they're switching back and forth, and the
Was it just me, or do you think that one guy looked like Bryan Cranston,
which one?
the like bearded native guy to the planet?
I didn't actually pay that much
Every
attention
time
to
he
him.
showed up, I was just so distracted because I was like, that looks like Bryan Cranston. It could be Bryan Cranston.
It could be. I need to watch it again.
Yeah,
I would
you
need to
should.
see a picture of him or something like that, because Bryan Cranston's such a great actor.
Yes.
I just the scene. When I think Bryan Cranston, I think the scene in Malcolm in the Middle where like the background goes dark and he turns. I can't even remember what they're talking about.
I think
He's
it's I think that's the skating episode.
oh yeah, when he asks,
Yeah,
he's like, "Can you teach me how to rollerblade or something like that?"
Gets all serious. He's like, "Are you sure you're up for it? You need like your full dedication, 100%."
Yeah.
Malcolm's like, "Yeah, I think so," and he's like, "Great, we'll start on Tuesday."
What a great series.
It is very good.
I love Malcolm in the Middle.
I mean, Hal's definitely
The best character.
Best character.
I feel like, what's your least favorite character?
Ooh.
I would say probably like, and it has to be like the main family, right? The five.
Main family. I'd probably say, oh man. I mean, he sucks. You know.
Well, Jamie doesn't have any single line in the entire series, right? He doesn't talk at all.
I think he says like, "I hate you" or something like once or something. I don't know. But I guess I would say probably Reese isn't like my most favorite.
I was going to say Reese out of the 5,
Not that I don't
Or-
like.
out of the 6, right? 'Cause
Yeah.
There's
Not that I don't like Reese, but I mean Dewey's like so memorable, and he's a psychopath at the same time.
yeah.
Malcolm obviously is great. Francis
Francis is awesome.
is
He's so funny.
He probably has the best like arc in his, because he just goes to so many different places.
Yeah. Like when he's on the ranch though is peak Malcolm. Like that time where he's on the ranch and he has all those stories with Otto is so funny. I'm so sad he got fired or whatever and they just wrote out like the ranch.
Yeah, that was kind of sad.
But I mean, you got to do something right new.
Yeah.
You know?
But Andor.
Must be nice to have a drink from Starbucks.
Yeah.
That's actually like good.
That's not cream and ice.
Cream and ice and sparkling water.
I'm just gonna leave that in Landon's
Yeah.
kitchen.
Leave it
Put it in his fridge.
in Landon's room.
No, we can't go in there.
Okay, that's gonna have to be cut out. But Andor.
Yes.
Our
Andor.
episodes are so chaotic.
That's why I love them.
I don't understand.
I love chaos. That's what a panda would like, right? Chaos.
No, like panda bears are the opposite of chaos. They just sit around and do nothing, right?
Wow, I really am a panda.
What was that? Was it the noise of a panda?
Yeah, you never heard a panda talk?
I've heard a panda talk, and it sounds a lot like Jack Black. Like,
Anyway, Andor. Anything else about Andor?
the characters are great. I care about every single one of them.
Yeah. Well, just like the whole like espionage, like watch what you're saying, who you're around type of like you don't know who to trust storytelling aspect is like really interesting.
Yeah.
And just a great, time in the Star Wars universe.
One of the most interesting things about the show is that every character matters. We're following this character. We don't know why yet. We're following this character it's this blonde girl in the Imperial, like the Imperial security circle, right? Where she's in control over a sector.
Right.
But even though I don't know why she's significant to the story yet, it's riveting to watch her like slowly start uncovering like the movements of the rebels is what she's kind of trying to uncover.
Yeah.
Same thing goes with the character that was the corpo sergeant that got fired and led the security assault or whatever, and just like lost all his men and lost like corpo control. He's really interesting to me too, and I don't really like. He's interesting because I see him. He's a flawed character, and then he goes and he has a relatable situation. You see him with his mom, right? And
played by Mrs. Fig.
Who's Mrs. Fig?
Arabelle Fig from Harry Potter.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Didn't know that.
Yep.
You see him in like a relatable situation, and you see him like struggling. Same thing with the girl. The blonde girl is getting screwed over by a coworker.
Yeah, it's like, oh, jurisdiction, blah, blah, blah.
And so it's like, okay, like you see these characters, like they're not pure, like they're having struggles that aren't pure. They're having common struggles.
Yeah.
And they have their own motivations, and they make sense. It's really a refreshing take from like a character like Reva,
right?
Who doesn't make sense,
right? Yeah. Well, and two, it's like I don't know if they're intentionally doing it, but I go into each episode like I wonder if like any of these characters could turn and become a rebel.
Yeah, like I'm thinking like maybe Corpo dude is going to become a rebel. Maybe the blonde girl is going to become a rebel. Maybe, and you never know but there are characters too. What's great about it? There's characters that are evil when you don't expect them to.
Yeah.
Especially episode 6, you have the dude that lied about his brother.
Yeah.
And totally was like, yeah, let's make out. Like, let's make off with the
let's make out.
Let's make off with the profit. Like split 40 million each.
And then make
out. Then make out.
Yeah, it's definitely like, I think they're being true, especially for Andor. I think they're being true to his character. Like, I believe the decisions that he's made, like based off of Rogue One and hearing kind of stuff about that and seeing some of the stuff that he did in that movie, what he's done so far in this show, like I 100% believe, like, yeah, that's his character. Like I think they could have easily like, oh, we need to make him more, acceptable and friendly, but no, he's out for himself right now. He's ruthless and cutthroat when he needs to be, but he's also fair. Like he seems like he's fair.
He has his own morals, right? Especially with like the dude that lied about his brother. He was like, I think he shot that guy. My interpretation of it is he shot the guy because he was just starting to, thanks to what's his name, the writer who died. Spoilers for episode 6, by the way.
Yeah.
What's his name?
I don't remember his name. Something.
My favorite character. Very sad when he died.
His name was.
He was just starting to kind of believe in the cause, right? He was just starting to want to, go with it. And then you see this person who's like, oh, I lied about my brother. I don't care about fighting the Empire. I just want the money, basically. Yeah. And it feels like Andor is like something that he just started to believe in was completely shattered. Yeah. And he's just like, okay, I need to go back to what I was doing. This is hopeless. Yeah. And we'll see how that transforms.
Yeah. I think it's an exciting show because I think it answers a lot of like practical questions that like, how do these people come into this organization, and like why are they rebelling? You know, who are they rebelling for? Like those type of questions I think are really interesting. And I mean, I'm assuming we'll get those answers.
Probably will. Probably.
And then they'll make out.
Yeah, I guess so. Who knows?
Rings of Power, did you finish that show?
No, but I got spoiled on something, unfortunately. But
What'd you get spoiled on?
I don't want to say it because
Well,
I don't know
I've
if
seen
it's
the show.
like super true. Like I just heard an off-brand like.
Okay, I won't confirm anything.
Okay.
But I won't deny
spoilers,
anything.
possible spoilers for the last episode of that, like the dude that Galadriel's with. What's his name?
Who?
How?
No.
What?
No, go back.
The dude that Galadriel's with.
No.
Galadriel. Fine.
My goodness. You're doing that on purpose.
Galadriel.
Thank you.
The dude that Galadriel's with. Halbrand is Sauron. Somehow.
Okay.
That's what I heard.
Okay.
And I'm like, that's true. What? I don't know. We'll see. It's a possible spoiler out of context, which is always really bad.
Yes. How many episodes are you behind?
Just haven't seen the most recent one.
Okay, so you're just one behind. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So
I can neither confirm nor deny.
yeah. Although I saw the Balrog last episode.
Yeah.
That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Does he go?
He goes, I'm a Balrog.
I'm a Balrog. That's what he says.
I'm a Balrog.
I'm a real I'm a real Balrog.
I'm a real Balrog. What do you think of the show so far?
It gets worse and worse every episode. That's my opinion.
That's a shame.
So the writing's not that good.
Like dialogue.
Dialogue, actual writing, it's not that good. Especially when you compare it to like Andor, where the dialogue, every single line is just like a home run in Andor. In Rings of Power, it's like, I will not ignore the tempest in me. That's and it's just like it's like you're trying too hard to be poetic and not practical, you know?
I could see that. I think some of the dialogue can kind of teeter that way. I see it more as like, I guess I buy into the more like poetic side of it, but you know, I'm more of a cheesy person anyway.
Yeah, I guess so. I don't know. I get why it works for some people, but for me, it's just not. I'm just not on board yet. There's not enough. It's a slow moving show, which I enjoy. Yeah, but it doesn't make me care enough about like all the characters. You know, like to be that slow moving. Like Andor is slow moving, and it works because I care about every single one of the characters. And I'm always like, every single little thing they do adds suspense or interest.
Yeah.
For Rings of Power, I'm kind of like, all right, cool. I guess Galadriel's upset at the queen for not.
Galadriel. Are you like purposely doing that?
Galadriel.
Stop it. Gosh dang.
Like Galadriel is like upset at the queen, right?
Yeah.
Because she's like, and for me, it's just like, okay, sure, I guess. You know, there's nothing interesting about Galadriel being upset over something we already know she's against, you know?
I guess, but how would that work? Like, should she not be upset?
No, I'm not saying, I'm just saying that it's written in a way that it's very predictable sometimes.
Like you would want it to be more subtle.
I want it to be more subtle, more, I don't know, more, it feels like it's centered around things that don't, like it's centered on the characters, but the characters' motivations are very simple.
Yeah.
And there is some good stuff with Halbrand and Galadriel. I like their Galadriel. So I have a confession.
What?
I'm not saying it on purpose.
Oh my gosh, Will, that's even worse.
So I'm sorry.
Why do you say why? Does it just sound right to you?
It sounds right to me. It's just how I've always heard it pronounced.
From who? You've seen the movie?
I've seen the movies. It's like the Gerald Geralt thing,
they
okay?
Say Galadriel.
It's the Gerald Geralt thing.
Yeah, but you hear them say it correctly.
I hear Geralt say Geralt too.
Well, who cares about that? Well, I've been enjoying the show. I've had minor nitpicks here and there, but I think overall it's a good start. Good first season.
I mean, first seasons are usually like people expect a lot out of first seasons nowadays.
Yeah.
The first season of Star Trek The Next Generation was bad. Really bad.
Yeah.
Season 4, 5, and 6 of The Next Generation are like peak Star Trek. So,
Yeah.
like, it's like you never know what a show can turn into.
Yeah, definitely.
You never know what the writers can learn as they go along. Instead, like the setup is often less interesting than the payoff, right? But the setup is required.
Yeah.
It's just a show like a show is a real hit if the setup and the payoff both are super interesting, right?
Right.
And that's kind of what Andor is. But at least we don't know the payoff, but I just have a feeling it'll be good. I'm seriously in love with that show.
It's really good.
That show is the first show in a long time where I look forward every week to something. Where it's like Wednesday, it's Andor Day.
Andor Day. They should change it.
Yeah.
Make it official.
Monday, Tuesday, Andor Day, Thursday, Friday. You know, the days of the week.
Rolls like a squeaky wheel
Squeak, squeak.
that's been oiled.
That's
and
been
lubed.
nice.
Cool. Well, what else has been going on with you, Will?
Nothing much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
My teeth are starting to hurt.
Oh yeah, you got
Talking a
wisdom
bit,
teeth
so.
out.
Yeah.
How'd that go?
It's all right. I mean, my mouth hurts right now a little bit.
Yeah.
I mean, not super. Like it's a lot better than it was.
Yeah.
But sometimes there are still moments where it's like a couple things of pain, like a jolt of pain every once in a while.
Do you like feel? Are there still like holes?
Oh yeah, totally.
I think-
And it's really irritating when you're eating. I have to like rinse it like a couple times a day now.
See, I never had to deal with that. I don't know if I just had like a better recovery, but like the next day I was like totally fine
Really,
and I could eat everything. Like it was fine.
I'm jealous.
Yeah, I don't.
It depends on the person and how they grow. If they're growing like at a weird angle or
Well,
really
I think
deep,
that's what it was. Mine were like fairly straight,
yeah.
so I think that helped.
Yeah, mine kind of were at angles, and it's not pretty. So that's why I had to get them out. 3 of them. One of them just didn't grow in.
Well, save it for later. You never know when you'll need a little extra wisdom.
Well, save it for later.
Cool. Well, I'm glad you're not dead and you recovered.
I am alive on the outside. I'll just put it that way.
Isn't that what a zombie is?
No, I think a zombie is somewhat alive on the inside too,
Really?
right?
Huh?
I mean, maybe. I mean, they have to have at least some brain function to like function, right?
They're the living dead.
But the dead, like,
The living part is the moving shell part on the outside. The
But the-
dead part's the inside.
but they have at least some function over there. Like,
I mean, there has to be some.
it's the cognitive.
There has to be something.
It's the cognitive functions that aren't there.
All I'm saying is, I don't want you to be a zombie.
Yeah.
I'd be scared.
Listen. I'm gonna bite whoever I want.
All right.
I'm gonna spread my virus. That sounded
Don't-
awful.
don't-
That sounded awful.
say it like
Cut that, please.
Spread my virus.
I'm gonna bite whoever I want. And I'm gonna spread my virus.
Oh my gosh.
No, but I'm not a zombie. I promise.
Yeah, you're a giraffe.
Yeah, I'm a zombie giraffe.
That'd be scary.
I don't know if that'd be scary.
A zombie, anything would be scary.
Yeah. Have you seen the deer? Oh gosh. Like the zombie deer disease?
No.
So there's a disease in deer that can make it seem like it's like something weird where it's only with deer, but it kind of turns them into zombies basically. And they have like a reflection in their eyes and they could be like half eaten and they're still walking around.
What?
Yes, this thing is real too.
I've never heard
It's
of the
terrifying.
zombie deer.
It's kind of like did you hear about the ants? Like what The Last of Us was based off of?
yeah, the
Fungus,
the parasite,
the
fungus
parasite
stuff.
fungus that affects
Yeah.
ants.
Yeah.
It's kind of a similar thing with
Am I gonna regret
Deer.
looking this up? Zombie deer.
it's called chronic wasting disease.
That's so weird.
CWD is fatal to animals and there are no treatments or vaccines.
Yeah, don't look this up. We looked it up, so you
terrifying.
didn't have to. Nasty.
Anyway, with that fun note,
Yes. Anything else you want to talk about? Or
I think I'm good. Ready to wrap this up.
yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Thanks for joining us this week.
You're welcome.
I'm talking to the listeners, okay?
Oh,
we don't
that-
often
I thought
like
you were
talk to
talking
the
me.
listeners.
How are you today, listeners?
Yeah.
Good. Glad,
Glad
to
it.
hear it. Cool. Well, yeah, thank you for joining us as always. And maybe next week we'll be back with full cast.
Hopefully. I hope so.
No promises.
I don't know. It's kind of hard to predict when Landon and Dave are going to flake out, you know.
Yeah. I mean, I'll always be here because, I'm
You'll always be
the
here
most
with us.
dedicated member.
I think you could say that.
I mean, most of the time I have to show up because I have the equipment.
Exactly.
So even on the days I don't want to be here, I'm still here. So with that out of the way, after I insulted everybody else that goes on the podcast. Oh, I just farted. Sorry. Have a good day.
Thanks, Michael. Have a good day.
Well, I tried coughing and then it went.
Yeah. Dude, no, stop. You're an awful person.
Everybody farts.
Everybody farts.
Okay,
we gotta get that. We gotta stop recording.
Thank you for listening to this week's episode of the Hotkeys podcast. You can find us on iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, Castbox, YouTube, and other podcasting platforms. Visit our website, www.hotkeyspodcast.com. Follow us on Twitter at Hotkeys Podcast and join our Facebook group at facebook.com/HKHotkeys. Please like and review us and subscribe to the show on whichever platforms you use. Finally, you can contact us via email at hosts@hotkeyspodcast.com.